Welcome to the first session or the first video of Nature Club for the term. This video is brought to you by BVF Farming Malaysia, and today we're going to talk about Malaysian rainforest and its importance. As we know, Malaysia is pretty well known for its diversity, whether it's the people, the food, or also its biological life. Malaysia is home to tropical rainforests, and the biodiversity of rainforests include animals, plants, fungi, and also algae. Each region in Malaysia has its own unique biodiversity, some even with endemic species which can only be found in that area. Let's take a little trip to the island Langkawi to know about its diversity.
Langkawi is a tropical island on the west coast of Malaysia. The flora and fauna are particularly rich in species, and some parts of the island are largely unspoiled. The majestic rainforest is estimated to be around 130 million years old. The diversity of wildlife is not least the result of the unique geological history of the island. It owes its existence to the collision of the supercontinents of Gondwanaland and Laurasia.
This little island, which is about the size of Singapore, has gone through an incredible geological history. In fact, the entire geological history of Malaysia had been played out on this island. And as a result, we have a great diversity of soil, hence a great diversity of flora, that then adds on to the diversity of the animals that live on it.
The chance of seeing rare species in the wild, such as the colugo, also called the flying lemur, has made Langkawi a popular holiday destination.
Colugo is a very unique animal. Its taxonomy is still being argued what it actually is. They are nocturnal animals. In the daytime, they spend most of their time hanging from a branch, almost appearing like a sloth, and just usually sleeping in the daytime. Just before night falls, they begin to get rather active. They start, like any other creature, grooming their baby along with a little cute little thing that they carry with them. And by darkness, they start moving around and they glide between the trees. And they have been recorded to glide even up to about 130 meters with a loss of height of just 12 meters. It's a very efficient gliding animal. Colugo is probably the world's only gliding monkeys or flying monkeys. And this is the easiest place on the planet to see it.
The dusky leaf monkey is native only to the Malay Peninsula. These beautiful monkeys can also be seen in Langkawi, where they like spending time in the treetops of the primary or secondary rainforest. When these diurnal herbivores find mature fruit trees, they put their fear of humans to one side.
If you've been to Langkawi before, you'd probably know that the name comes from the Malay word for eagle, which is helang, because you can easily see eagles flying around the island. The common species found are the white-bellied fish eagle and the Brahmini kite. Also, as discussed in the video, you can also find colugos, or also known as flying lemurs, which can honestly be a bit confusing because, fun fact, they glide and not fly, and they're actually not lemurs. You can also see spectacled langurs or dusky leaf monkeys on the island of Langkawi. Each island has different biodiversity. So let's travel to another island in Malaysia, which we actually share it with Indonesia. Island Borneo is also the third largest island in the world.
I never really asked myself, what's the rainforest about? I did not know what to expect. There's just all this media attention and scientific interest, but I really did not have a clue. And just to clear this up, This is not a conceptual piece, there's no research behind this and no deeper philosophy. This is just a story of what we experience in the national parks of Borneo and what I believe I found what the rainforest is about. First, we visited Cuba National Park, and I don't know, for someone who actually is familiar with trees and knows a little bit more about rainforests or jungles, this might be special. But for me, it just looked like some forest. At this time, I really didn't know what this all is about.
Is that a new glitch sound? Did it die?
There are a few nice hikes. A waterfall you can visit. But what you definitely should do is go out one more time after the sun goes down. After this experience, something got me. Going out and finding what's hard to find. Turns out the rainforest won't simply throw all its secrets and beauty at you. Well, surprise! Yet sometimes, you might run into something. This is Baku National Park. Compared to Cuba, it looks more like I would imagine a tropical forest. It really is nice here. You might want to take a swim at one of the beautiful bays you'll find along your way. But you may also find a crocodile. So, I don't know. Maybe don't. Anyway, one thing that really got my attention are the countless winding routes you walk on. But there was also something else that caught our attention. You can be constantly on the lookout for the big stuff. But if you don't pay attention to the details, you might actually miss a lot. Especially at night. We visited one more national park on our way up to the northeast. Kinabalu National Park is known for two things. That's Mount Kinabalu, the highest mountain of Southeast Asia, which we did not have enough money for to get a guide and climb it and all that. And the national park itself is also known for Rafflesia, the biggest flower of the world, which we also didn't see because it was completely the wrong time for that. On the other hand, it's supposed to reek like rotten meat. It's even called corpse flower, and I mean, would have been cool to see it, yet even not a lot was blooming in general at the time we visited the park. There still was a lot to see. I'm just not a plant guy. I don't have a clue if these things I'm showing you are special or not. But the longer we stayed in Borneo, the more fascinating it got. The sheer variety of life you can find. And we only got a glimpse on the 15,000 species that live in the oldest rainforests of the world, and even more to be discovered. If you never understood what biodiversity actually is supposed to mean, the rainforest will give you a pretty good taste of it. All the small things, sharing the same world, connected to each other. And even though we don't know, connected to us. So what is the rainforest about? It is about the same thing which makes planet Earth, our home, unique. The rainforest is all about
Because Borneo is such a large island, it is home to many endemic species that can't be found any other place in the world, such as the Bornean orangutan and also the proboscis monkey and many other species. The Bornean rainforest is actually older than the Amazon rainforest. However, it is exposed to a high risk of deforestation because as of before 1970, there's more than 75% of rainforest cover in Borneo, but now it's less than 50%. But why do we need to protect our rainforest from deforestation? Why is it so important? As discussed earlier, our rainforest provides shelter and home to many species in the world, and these species could be endemic and only can be found in the rainforest of Malaysia. The number of our endemic species, such as the tiger or the orangutan, are rapidly decreasing because of the rates of deforestation. When they lose their homes, where do they go?
There's a orangutan in my bedroom and I don't know what to do. She plays with all my teddies and keeps borrowing my shoe. She destroys all of my houseplants and she keeps on shouting, ooh. She throws away my chocolate and she howls at my shampoo. There's a orangutan in my bedroom and I don't want her to stay. So I told the naughty orangutan that she had to go away. Orangutan in my bedroom, just before you go, why were you in my bedroom? I really want to know. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He destroyed all of our trees for your food and your shampoo. There's a human in my forest and I don't know what to do. He took away my mother and I'm scared he'll take me too. There are humans in my forest and I don't know what to do. They're burning it for palm oil. So I thought I'd stay with you. Orangutan in my bedroom, now I do know what to do. I'll fight to save your home and I'll stop you feeling blue. I'll share your story far and wide so others can fight too. Orangutan in my bedroom, I swear it on the stars. The future's not yet written, but I'll make sure it is ours.
Deforestation happens for a lot of reasons, some for mass agriculture and some for logging. Whatever the reason for deforestation, this exposes the area around the forest to a highly large risk to floods and droughts and erosions.
The number of evacuees seeking shelter in 5 Malaysian states has decreased as flood water recedes, but parts of the country, including Pahang, are bracing for more flooding. Thousands are still homeless 2 weeks after massive mud floods hit. Many are pointing their fingers at indiscriminate land clearing by timber companies and the inaction of the Forestry Department for worsening the situation. Melissa Go with this report.
Now this is what's left of 85-year-old Liang Yuguang's house, half demolished by the mud flood, but still standing. Now picking up the pieces will take a long time.
He has lost everything, he said, save memories of his family. Their pictures were all that he could salvage. The huge column of water that gushed down from the mountains on December 18, along with giant logs and branches, will forever etch in his mind.
我整个人傻了啊，整个人傻了啊，怎么样？好像惨绝人寰了，好像打仗逃难这样了，真的是逃难。家里东西一样都没有拿到。
Thousands of homes situated along the rivers in Pahang were gutted by mud floods that demolished everything that there stood on its way.
Now, these are the logs, branches and debris that were washed down from upstream. And villagers blame massive clearing of land for logging and agricultural purposes at the hill slope behind the village for contributing to the severe flooding. It's not just the incessant rainfall for almost 2 days in December. They are blaming timber companies and forestry department for creating the mess, and now they are bearing the full brunt of it.
The State Forestry Department has issued a temporary stop work order on all logging activity due to monsoon season and the recent floods. But villagers said it's too late.
森林局一直否认，他讲这边没有伐木的，他一直在否认，一直在否认。所有这些树木从哪里来？假如都是伐木的话，这些全部从哪里来？
The Member of Parliament is urging the government to speed up disbursement of funds and channel more assets to help villagers rebuild their homes.
This flood is not just an ordinary flood, it came in like a tsunami. I use my term, this is like tsunami balak, a timber tsunami.
How long
flood
do you
water
think
up
the
to the ceiling.
rebuilding and the recovery will take?
I think it will take not months, probably a year or two, It depends on how much assistance come in. Day 18, and people still suffering. Yeah, people still suffering, sitting in their broken house.
Environmentalists said what happened in Pahang and across 6 other states in Malaysia ravaged by floods is a wake-up call.
We need to realize that we need flora and fauna and environment than the other way. It's not our right to abuse, sorry to use the word, or use whatever resources, the log, other debris in the forest, it block the water flow for initial period. But after it's accumulated over the time, it will gush through, because you have to understand the power of water. Extremely now. We human beings, we cannot go against the water.
The river always finds the sea. Environmentalists say respecting nature is key, and those who deny it shall pay a heavy price. Melissa Go, CNA, Bentong, Pahang.
But how do our rainforests prevent flooding? This next video will show you exactly how plants retain water in the soil and prevent flooding.
I'm Jared. Welcome to Fun Science Demos. The big idea today is erosion and how water has the power to shape our land. But we don't want the water to shape our land too much, because we need that soil to grow plants. We use those plants for food, and animals use those plants for food. So what you see in front of me are 3 different types of land. This first type is just bare soil. It's just soil. This next type has dead leaves on top. And the third type has plants growing in the soil. This may not look too exciting right now, but when it rains, that water has the power to change the land. And we're going to make it rain to see what that water is going to do to our land. So we cut the top off of 3 plastic bottles, and we put the same soil in each of those 3 bottles. All of these bottles have the same soil. We covered this soil with dead leaves, and we grew some plants in this bottle. We've also used other plastic bottles to catch the water that's going to come out of these when we pour it into the bottle. We want to pour water into each bottle and see what happens. Does that water have the power to change the land? What do you think is going to happen when we pour water into this bottle and it comes out into the cup? Will it be any different from the water we pour into this bottle as it comes into the cup? And will this one be any different when we pour water into this bottle and it comes out into this cup? So I'm going to slowly pour water in. You're going to see the water level rise, and we'll see what happens with our soil. We'll keep it coming. And now it's coming out. Take a look at the bottle we used to catch the water. Well, what do you notice? Well, it's cloudy. So why is it cloudy? That's because all the dirt and the soil from our bottle was washed into the cup. The water had the power to actually take the dirt and the soil with it out of the bottle and into the cup. The water moved the soil. It shaped the soil. So now I'm going to pour about the same amount of water into the next bottle. What do you think is going to happen? The water that we catch, will it be just as dirty? Will it be less dirty? Will we even be able to see a difference? Well, let's pour the water and find out. Here we go. So I'm pouring the water in. Making it rain. Adding water to our bottle. I can see the leaves floating to the top. Do we have any overflow? Yes, we do. Stop the rain and see what we have. So we've zoomed in so you can compare the two. This one has a lot of the soil in the container. This one just has a little bit of the particles, a little bit of the soil in that water. So why do you think this container is a little bit cleaner? Well, what's different between the two? Well, this one had leaves, dead leaves on top. And I think most of these dead leaves helped protect the soil underneath from moving with the water. So what do you think is going to happen with our third container? We have plants growing in the soil. What's going to happen when we add water and make it rain in this container? All right, here we go. Let's add the water. About the same amount. Pouring the water in. What do you think's going to happen here? Add a little bit more. It's coming out. We're going to stop pouring and see if we can compare what we see coming out. The water coming out of this container looks a whole lot cleaner than this one and a little bit cleaner than this one. So the question is why? Why is this water cleaner? I poured about the same amount of water into each container of soil. This one looks really clean. Well, to answer the question why, we have to zoom in and take a closer look at what's really going on here. So now we're all set to take a closer look at why the water coming out of this bottle was so clean and clear compared to the others. To do that, I'm going to actually lift these plants out of this bottle and let's see what happens. Well, what I notice right away is what comes along with all of the plants. Well, the soil is actually coming out too. When I flip it over, I think you'll be able to see why. So we've zoomed in so we can see what's going on here. Why is this soil staying together? Why is it staying in place? Well, you can see the roots from our plants grew into the soil. And almost like little fingers, those roots are holding the soil together. So when it rains, The roots keep the soil from washing away. The roots of the plant, that's what keeps the water from eroding the soil. Besides holding the soil together and in place, roots do another amazing thing. To show you that, I'm going to squeeze this and I want you to watch what happens. Where did all that water come from? Well, that came from when we made it rain on our soil. The roots of the plants helped hold that water in. Plant roots actually go deep into the soil, and this model is going to help us see how deep they can go. We're going to zoom in and see if we can see those really tiny plant roots that we have growing in our soil. We've zoomed in now so you can see these tiny roots in action. I'm going to point them out, and they actually extend from the plant all the way down to the bottom of our soil. I'll point out some of the bigger ones. They grow down into the soil. And think about what they're doing. They're holding that soil in place. All of these tiny roots getting nutrients from the soil, but they're also helping the soil out. Plants do an amazing job at keeping erosion from washing away too much soil. We need that soil. We depend on that soil to grow plants, and animals depend on that soil to grow plants. If you want to learn more about plants and soil and erosion, check out our links in the video description. Science is so cool, and sometimes it's dirty. Thanks for watching.
Another importance of our rainforest is it supports our indigenous people. Like I said before, Malaysia is not only highly diverse in our animals and plant species, we're also very diverse in our people. The rainforest of Malaysia is home to many tribes of native people who depend on the rainforest for their livelihood.
The state of Selangor. The Kuala Langat North Forest Reserve has been put up for degazettement by the state government to build a mixed development in the area. At present, the protected area consists of 958 hectares of forest. But if the government's proposal goes through, this will reduce the area to a mere 28 hectares. Environmentalists, lawmakers, and the Orang Asli who live in the fringes of the forest have vehemently opposed the state government's plan, as destroying the forest will bring about a wide-scale environmental impact.
Of course, there's a major impact on the socio-economy, welfare, life and culture of the Orang Asli community. From our documentation, we know that the Orang Asli have been living there within the forest area for at least 130 years, but it may be several hundred years. Not only because their villages historically have been within the forest, in fact, when some of the communities, when they have children, they are naming the tree after the child, or they're linking each child to a tree in the forest. And they feel when those trees are cut or destroyed, then basically that affect the spirit, the soul of the children of the family members. So it's a really very strong personal, emotional connection that they have with the forest. Asked, and the Orang Asli community have asked many times exactly what is the proposed development, and nothing has been presented. So it seemed that maybe the state don't have a clear plan or proposal what they want to develop, just to take and sell off the land to maybe to third parties to make money.
The 8,000-year-old peat swamp forest plays an important role as a carbon sink. It is estimated that if the government's plan to degazette the forest goes ahead, 5.5 million tons of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes significantly to global warming, will be released to the air. The forest is also the home to various flora and fauna such as Meranti bakau, the Malayan sun bear, Selangor pygmy flying squirrel, and the rare langat red fighting fish. For Samsul Senin, whose village sits 50 kilometers from the forest, its rich biodiversity plays a significant role for the Orang Asli who have foraged and hunted there for more than 150 years.
Hasil hutan ni 60% punca pendapatan bagi masyarakat Orang Asli lah. Penduduk di sini jumlahnya hampir 2,000 orang. Maknanya 1,000 orang tu masih bergantung kepada hutan simpan Kuala Utara lah. Hutan dan orang asli tu kehidupan tidak boleh dipisahkan. Memang kami perlukan hutan. Memang hutan tu memang sangat penting bagi kami. Kami rasa sangat kecewa lah. Umpama hutan ni macam keluarga kami. Macam hutan tu dimusnahkan macam umpama nak membunuh keluarga kami juga. Kita bimbang lah yang kawasan orang asli akan diambil untuk pembangunan juga. Maknanya orang asli tu akan hilang dan pupus. Macam tu saja.
On September 29th last month, the Selangor State Forestry Department finally decided to have a town hall with the various stakeholders in the forest. However, the parties were only informed about the town hall 5 days prior to it. Attended by some 100 orang asli, environmentalists and Selangor lawmakers, the parties expressed a resounding no to the state government's proposal to de-gazette the forest and replace it with other parcels of land. Nearly a month after the town hall, no decisions have been made with regards to the status of the forest.
Now that we've discussed our forests and why it is important to us and everybody around us, let's go jalan-jalan in our Taman Negara Forest Reserve in the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia.
The oldest rainforest in the world is here in Malaysia. Hello, I'm Nancy Perlman. On this edition of Eco News, we explore the flora and fauna that can be found in Pahang's Taman Negara National Park. This 130 million year old ecosystem is home to many species, 10,000 plants, 150,000 insects, 25,000 invertebrates, 675 birds, 270 reptiles, 250 freshwater fish, and 200 mammals. We're also going to visit an Aboriginal village and walk on the world's longest canopy suspension bridge. Here at the boat landing, we're ready to enter Taman Negara, Malaysia's first national park, celebrating its 75th year. The journey begins.
Hi, my name is Noor Ismail. We're going to do the night jungle walk, try to find the nocturnal, whatever come out in the night. And normally we highlight for insect. We take about half an hour journey or 45 minutes, depending how. Actually the topic is wild animals because they are around this area, people feed them. So like a domestic animal already right now, yeah. So this is Canopy Walkway, where we have to go from here about 1.5 miles.
Throughout the forest walk, there are places where trees are labeled like this Mukang Hutan, which provides this fruit. But without the trained naturalists, we wouldn't know how the local people use it. So it's much nicer to have a guide with us.
The name of this is Macang Hutan. They are woody insect. So this is not really nice fruit. Actually, it tastes sweet sour, but they got like woody inside. I want to show you one of the fruit. They use this one if they are really desperate in the jungle. So look at these palm trees where they got long stem. And the orang asli use this leaf to make a roof for the hut. This is a termite mound. So here is not like in north of Australia, they got about 5 meters high. That one is one of the biggest termite in the world. But here, we also have a 5, but only 5 feet.
During our walk in the rainforest, it's really wise to stay on the path and follow the guide's instructions because there are a lot of plants that don't want us to get too close. These thorns are very painful. I see so many trees with these step ferns. They just live symbiotically together?
Yeah, they're together.
No parasite?
No parasite, no. It's not like liana. When they're young, they just coil to the trees. When they grow bigger, they will kill the tree. But they not kill the tree. They use the dead leaf for food of them.
The plant eats the dead leaf?
Yes. This one is also good for the bird, for the insect to stay inside to make nest.
The plants here have a symbiotic relationship. So we'll find different trees having vines around them, orchids, and other plants depending on them.
Look at this tree. Is a local name we call Pokok Merbau. In Latin name, scientific names they call Insia palimbanica. Yeah, the one of the very high quality tree. People can use for many things, not for the birds only. People use for we call utensil of the house, and then also make a chair, make a table. This is a fruit from the merbau tree, yeah, but not the seed, just the box only, yeah, the shell only from the merbau tree. This tree is small, but they already maybe more than 100 years because merbau tree they grow very, very slow. Look at this tree. Local name we call Pokok Mengkundo.
This is the ancient communication systems. Before all the electronics, they would beat this and be able to tell other villagers to come for various important functions. We're surrounded by the sounds of the rainforest, the beautiful greenery, but also the Tumbling River, which forms the border. So on one side is the national park, on the other are villages.
Is where the white tree you can see they got a little marking from the vines. Vine will be kill the tree, but now no vines over there because still marking from the vines. Look at on that tree, looks like a black rope hanging down from the tree there. There is a timber ants. Million of them from the tree going down here and then cross over here and then go up again. So you know why they just follow the French, because they got smell. If you blow them, they will lose the way. Yeah, because they lose the smell. Yeah, and some of them they carry something. The white things, there is something to build the nest. From these ants actually. We call timber ants, not friendly in this group because these ants only their family. Look at that water, is a little stream. Yeah, only when the rain, they got heavy rain, and then we can see here like mini waterfalls. And then when they got a lot of rain, that means this water we can drink. For example, on November, December, January, we got a lot of rain, monsoon season. That means this water we can drink. If a dry season, from March to September is dry, if they got a little rain, little water here, that means we cannot drink because the water is not move. Yeah. And also, you know why they got like a little waterfall here? When the rain comes, they got a lot of hill from the left, from the right side. When they got heavy rain on the top there, all of the water from the rain and then go straight to the stream. Yeah, go straight to here. That's why it looks like a drain. Yeah, looks like a drain here. When the dry season is dirty water not allowed to drink.
This forest is alive with the sound of cicadas, but we're going to get a different view of the plants as we go on the Canopy Walk on a suspension bridge about 300 feet above the ground and 1,500 feet long.
Alright, now we are on the Canopy Walkway, one of the longest nature canopy in the world. They got 570 meters. The surrounding of the canopy walk, you can see everywhere is a green. Yeah, everywhere is a green. But now we cannot see the bird, we cannot see the squirrel or monkey or insect. But we can hear sound of them.
This is truly a family adventure. People of every age, young and old, can do it. It might feel a little scary as it sways, but it's really quite safe. They change these ropes every year to be sure they're very strong. Here, high on the Canopy Walk, we're able to get a different view. Down below, this tree just looked like a trunk, but as I'm seeing it from here, there are branches and leaves. Quite a different look. Oh, there's our walkway down there. We are quite high. Nice to see the tops of the trees. What an incredible journey to see the canopy on the walkway. Quite an experience. Right here at our cabins, the wildlife comes to us. It's so great to see these monkey troops. These spider lilies are beautiful. They're native to the area, so it's easy to plant them around the resort.
Dari pedomok dia. Dari pedomok.
These students are from the Australian International School in Kuala Lumpur. What was your trip like?
Fantastic. We've been out there swimming, doing some artwork, and recycling because we don't want to eat plastic.
Oh, that's so important.
It was fun. Tumbling River is great.
We're ready for a boat ride to see the park from the Tumbling River and stop at an Aboriginal village with the Orang Asili. There's our resort right in the middle of the park. We can see the rainforest from a totally different perspective. These people are so kind and generous. They're letting us walk through their village, taking pictures of their families and their homes. They really do want us to understand who they are.
Now we are in the Orang Asli settlement. We call this tribe is Batek. They are Batek tribe. They are nomad. They move from the place to the place. And then they also have a few families here, maybe around 10 to 15 families. For this tribe, yeah, we're going to see them later, and then they will show us how to make a fire, yeah, how to make a dark blue pipe, and then also blue pipe demonstration. For this tribe, they got a few reasons why they are moving. The first is if someone die, and second one is a taboo, bad luck, and the third one is surrounding is less food. And the fourth reason is when they got wild fruit and then they have to move. And also they stay on this place around 2 years, couple years already. They stay on this place. Yeah. So later on we're going to see them. For this tribe, they stay for a couple months. Then after that, they move to the jungle, back to the nature. That means the children go to the school only couple months. These people still stay on this place and then also allowed to stay in the park area. Everyone they can swim. They learn all the time actually. Look behind there is a Tumbling River. Is the Tumbling River water from here straight to the South China Sea. From the resort to be here, we use the boat for transport. We don't have any road. And then also we still have another village up there, about 280 miles from here, yeah, by boats. And when the water are rising, I mean the monsoon season, November, December, water can be a few meters higher from now. Yeah, maybe it can be 10 or 15 meters deep water. Then also strong current. But now is the water is shallow. So that's why you can see is somewhere there they got a wave. Yeah. Then also we came from the resort Mutiara there. Here to be here, we passed a few rapids. On the right is the villages. On the left side there is a park area. Yeah.
The blowgun is a very important tool.
Yes, very important for them. Yeah. So this is like weapon for them.
And it's made out of two parts?
Yes, two parts. Look here. Yeah, they got two parts because
the outer part protects it as they're hiking through the forest.
Yes.
And then it has some material here. What's that made out of?
Made from latex from the tree. If we're not to put this thing, that means not strong enough power. Yeah.
There's the inner part.
Yeah, look.
And then the piece that you have in your hand, what does that do?
This one?
Yes.
This is a very important for them to protect this thing. If they got a little crack, they mean cannot use anymore.
You have something that shows some markings.
Is a one mark that means one animal. Bird, squirrel, or monkey. Yeah, one. Another one is they use this thing like a whistle.
This feels like sandpaper too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that one is a sandpaper leaf to polish this thing. This is poison.
Oh, you touch it.
Poison from the tree.
And what is this here? It's very lightweight. It feels like a piece of wood, but almost no weight to it.
So this is we call pulai root, akar pulai, or Estonia. They are really light wood and soft. Yeah.
And what do they use it for?
They put at the back here because for balancing, for balance of the duck. So this duck stem from the palm. This one. Yeah.
Oh, it comes from a different plant.
Different plants from the palm tree.
I have no idea whether or not I'll be able to blow this very far or hit any target, but it'll certainly be a new experience.
Take a deep breath and
I have to take a deep breath and blow out.
Hot blow, yeah, one time.
I hit the screen. It takes practice. You're going to demonstrate making a fire without matches?
Yeah, they will do for us. So not to take a core inside, they have to take a bark here. It's good. But if they put this thing, that means cannot use. This is a Meranti tree, a Soria leaf trusola. This is a rattan. They will friction with the Meranti. They make a little hole here, yeah, and then a little line to put the rattan. Then after that, they are friction until the smoke come out from the hole and the ember come out from the hole. They only use a small rattan. Small rattan is more power, much better than the big rattan. Yeah. This is a palm leaf, and then this is a looks like a cotton, but not a real cotton from the kapuk tree. But this they just scribe from the bamboo or from the palm, stem from the palm. Scribe, and then they use this thing to put ember after their friction ember, and then they put it inside and blow a little bit to get fire. If a good wood and good rattan, less than 1 minute. If a not good rattan, a few times they do.
Sounds like I have to take more time.
Yeah, they got two techniques to make a fire actually. So normally here, if they have to show to the tourists, they always use the rattan and the Meranti tree, Meranti wood. But sometimes they use metal with the stone, just spot to make a fire. But normally people, when they came here, they will show these things.
Senna, thank you so very much. I'm Nancy. I hope to come back. I appreciate the demonstrations. And in your language, we say, O'Ornella.
Okay.
Our guide is going to show me a traditional dance of the Rong Asi.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
Our visit to Taman Negara National Park is enhanced by our stay here at the Mutiara Taman Negara Resort. They have individual cabins made from local sustainable wood. Their guides are extremely knowledgeable about the plant and animal life, and the fine cuisine is suited for the international visitor, but gives us a taste of local flavors.
Hi, I'm Sabri Abdullah. I'm the front office manager of Mutiara Taman Negara. And the resort is established in 1990. I've been working here since 1990. The resort is covered by 15 acres. We are eco-friendly resort and we are the only resort within Taman Negara National Park. All the wooden chalet is from wood. Yeah, I like to work here. Nice place, quiet, and I can meet people from all over the world.
We have just begun exploring Taman Negara, the first and one of many of Malaysia's national parks. Next time, we hope to climb to the top of one of Southeast Asia's highest mountains and take more treks in this ancient rainforest. On behalf of our nonprofit organization, Educational Communications and Eco News, I'm Nancy Perlman, wishing you a natural, unspoiled environment.